Joe Rogan is leaving Los Angeles. This clip was flying around my suggested. Joe Rogan, I've been on his podcast a couple of times. Of course, he signed a Spotify deal recently. And, I mean, if he moves out of LA, it's big news for a lot of people. That said, he's been talking about it for a while. It's not really news to me. He's kind of been insinuating that he may be moving out of LA in various ways.
Yeah.
Talking about the typical stuff, the traffic and the congestion. Obviously, very high cost of living in Los Angeles as well, which a lot of people are talking about. This kind of stuff is being amplified because of the lockdown in certain places. And of course, the fact that humans are starting to look at their proximity to other humans in a new way. Urban environments are totally reimagined in an environment with social distancing and God knows whatever else we're talking about. It's just different. I can imagine being on public transit. I mean, I don't have to be, but some people do. And then you realize, man, we're pretty tight right now. All these viruses flying around and whatever else. So I think it's amplified some things which were already out there, things that people were already kind of feeling, and then this thing amplified to another level. And to be fair, he's not alone. There has been an exodus taking place in a lot of major cities. That this is reflected in rent prices, which saw a dip in places like Manhattan and San Francisco, which never happened before. So I don't think it's necessarily unique to Joe wanting. Also, you get older in life, you can call your shots. You can be where you want. It becomes easier to relocate when you've had success that he's had. Many drawing attention to the fact that Texas and California not exactly the same taxation either.
Right.
So you throw a few more dollars in the pocket. You put it all together. He says he's looking for a little more freedom. He also is in the middle of the country, which he flies in his guests. So now you come from the West Coast or the East Coast, it's a slightly shorter flight, I suppose.
Yeah, that's great.
Kind of in a central location. I know he's connected to Onnit, the Onnit company as well, with the supplements and the fitness stuff and the kettlebells and everything else. And they're in Texas, and he's involved with that. So there's a number of factors, I'm sure, that play into it here. But like I said, I think you kind of expedite the process going through lockdown. Maybe you look for a little more space. I don't think it's that crazy.
Yeah. Maybe
you look around and you say, it's pretty tight over here. Now, granted, I'm sure his place is not all that tight, but getting to and from the location, I mean, even trying to get things done, there's just more congestion. It's true what he's saying. Now, I know some people are going to come on this, come here, and they are obviously in those comments as well. Some locals in Los Angeles say this is the best place to be. There's some pride associated with it. And it's true, there's many advantages, Los Angeles advantages. Proximity to great guests that are already there.
Yeah.
Tons of nightlife and restaurants. And there are things that come from being congested. Generally, it's good things. The weather and the beach. And you give some of those things up. So it's not a clear trade, but he did sign a massive Spotify deal. And the tax piece would be enough to make you look at it as well. Because you'd be sitting there saying, okay, 13% tax in California. I go cash this check in Texas. It's a different story.
Right.
So I know athletes consider that as well when they sign with a particular team. It was one of the reasons around the big three in Florida that one time, the basketball players, when you had Wade, LeBron, and Bosh. So it's not a crazy thing. I think most people would analyze and evaluate that. And now the key factor is going to be whether or not, like how the guest thing works out, if he can get people coming in there as frequently and if it's as easy to arrange guests. But they may have had a kind of an experiment with that because of the pandemic. They may have, over the past few months, through having some people come on screen and work out various ways to do the show, it gives you a little exposure and experience with, okay, maybe we can do this thing a little bit more remote.
Right.
And fly people in every so often and all the rest of it. And his show's so big now, too, that if you're a potential guest, the opportunity is so massive. Go for a trip to Texas.
Yeah.
Think about it, no congestion. You get off the airplane, quick trip to the studio.
Just in and out.
It's not crazy. It's going to be worthwhile. So shout out to Joe. Congrats. enjoy Texas. I'm a bit jealous. He's gonna get a compound or something going on over there.
There you go.
Why not?